Hello students, this is Shahnaz and again I am back with Standard 9 Science lesson number 14 Natural Resources part 2. In part 1 we have already studied about the biotic and abiotic components of earth. We have also studied about air, water, soil and atmosphere. Now in this part we will study how the biotic and abiotic components react with each other and how they interact with each other and complete the nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle and water cycle. We will also study here about ozone layer and greenhouse effect. Biogeochemical cycle. This is something new which we will study in this chapter. Bio means life, or you can say biotic component on earth, and geo means actually earth, or you can say land, or you can say abiotic components on earth. Now biogeochemical cycle are the transfer of matter and energy between the biotic and abiotic components of the biosphere. Now the common biogeochemical cycles which we will study are water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle and oxygen cycle. In this cycles we will study how the balance of these resources are maintained on the earth. First is water cycle. When water bodies are heated during day, a large amount of water evaporates and rises up. Some water also gets into the atmosphere due to biological activities like transpiration and respiration. So, water vapor, water evaporates from water bodies, as well as water vapor is given into the atmosphere through transpiration, respiration both. As the water vapor rises, it cools and condenses to form tiny droplets of water. This appears as cloud. When the tiny droplets of water join together to form bigger drops of water, they fall down as rain, snow or hail. Some of these water enter the ground and form groundwater. When water flows from the land to sea, it carries many nutrients and minerals which are used by marine water. So you can see in this way water, or you can say amount of water, is maintained on the earth by water cycle. In this figure you can see water cycle. The evaporation of water takes place from a water body, formation of cloud takes place. So from earth water goes on in air and form cloud, and again the same water comes down in the form of rain. In this way the amount of water is balanced on the earth. Nitrogen cycle. Now as we know, nitrogen gas makes up 78% of our atmosphere. So the large part of air consists of nitrogen. Nitrogen is very important for life forms because nitrogen is essential for protein, nucleic acid, that is RNA and DNA. And it is also essential for vitamins. Now it would be very easy if we all can take up nitrogen directly from air. But nitrogen is inert gas. We cannot use the nitrogen directly from air. Only a few bacteria can do this. Only a few bacteria can convert nitrogen from air into nitrates and nitrites, which are actually usable form for life. And the another way of fixing nitrogen is by lightning. So first we will see how see, nitrogen is present in atmosphere. This nitrogen is converted into ammonia and then into nitrates and nitrites by the bacteria which are present in the leguminous plant, that is pulses. They are present in the root nodules of leguminous plant, and they convert nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites. We cannot use nitrogen directly. We have to convert it into uh, its compound form, and then it is utilized. Now when this bacteria fix nitrogen in soil, then roots of plants absorb this nitrogen from soil and it becomes protoplasm in plant, that is you can say protein in plant. Now when animals eat plant, this nitrogen is transferred to the body of animals in the form of protoplasm in animals. Now when waste is given out from their body, or when plants and animals die, it, this is converted into ammonia, right? Now when this ammonia mix is present in the soil, and again this ammonia is converted into nitrates and nitrites by some reactions. Okay, this ammonia is converted into nitrates and nitrites. Now this sum of the nitrates and nitrites are again utilized by soil, and the same process is repeated, and some nitrates and nitrites are converted into nitrogen by the by some of the bacteria by the process of denitrification, right? So in this way nitrogen circulates from plants to animals, then it comes out in the form of ammonia, then ammonia is converted into nitrates, nitrites, and these nitrates and nitrites are used by are used again by plants, and some of the nitrates and nitrites undergoes denitrification process, and the nitrogen is removed from oxygen, separated from oxygen, and it is given out in the atmosphere. Now another way of fixing nitrogen is lightning. During lightning, a very high temperature and pressure is created in the air, and it converts nitrogen into oxides of nitrogen. Now these oxides dissolve in water to give nitric and nitrous acid and fall on the land along with rain. These are then utilized by various life forms. That is, again these are absorbed by the plants and it becomes plant protoplasm, then again it is transferred to animal, and in this way the entire cycle is carried out. Once these once the animals or the plants die, other bacteria in the soil convert various compounds of nitrogen back into nitrates and nitrites. The different types of bacteria convert nitrates and nitrites into elemental nitrogen. Thus, there is nitrogen cycle in nature in which nitrogen passes from its elemental form in the atmosphere into simple molecule in soil and water, which gets converted to more complex molecule in living beings and back again to simple form. The next cycle is carbon cycle. As we know that carbon is present in the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide is used by the plant in the process of photosynthesis to make food, that is glucose. Molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. It means carbon from CO2 is converted into carbon of glucose. Now when animal eat plant, that carbon enters into the body of animal as organic compound, and when animal respire they give out carbon dioxide, and in this way the carbon dioxide is again given back to the atmosphere. Now another process which adds carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is combustion, that is burning of fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, etc. So this way carbon is used from the atmosphere and it is given back in the atmosphere. Now we know that carbon is a very essential component of biological molecules like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, nucleic acid, etc., which are all present in our body. So in this way carbon circulates in the atmosphere, that is from abiotic component to biotic component, and again biotic component to abiotic component. Now see, this is carbon cycle. You can see carbon dioxide from the atmosphere goes to used by plants by the process of photosynthesis. Now that is organic compound in plant, then after it goes to animals as organic compound in animals, and then after respiration again this carbon dioxide is given out in the atmosphere. One more way how carbon dioxide is or carbon is used is you can see when carbon dioxide reacts with water, carbonates are produced, that is limestone. So carbon is also present in the form of limestone. Now when these plants and animals die, they are buried inside the ground, and after thousands of years they are converted into fossil fuel, that is coal and petroleum. So this carbon is buried inside the ground. Now then afterwards when we burn this fuel, again carbon dioxide is given back to the atmosphere, right? One more thing, when animals, some animals produce shells. Now these shells are nothing but they are inorganic carbonates, for example calcium carbonate. So in this way carbon is present in the atmosphere in all these forms and it is given back to the atmosphere. Now we know in the process of photosynthesis carbon dioxide reacts with water and in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and C6H12O6 is produced, that is glucose plus energy, right? Now in the process of respiration, it means carbon from carbon dioxide is converted into glucose. Now again in the process of respiration, food, that is C6H12O6 is broken down by oxygen and it gives carbon dioxide plus water. This is not the balance equation, actually here balancing is not required, so I am not showing you. So in this way you can see how carbon dioxide is used, it has travelled, and how it is given back to atmosphere. So this is the entire carbon cycle. Now the last cycle of this chapter is oxygen cycle. Now we all know that oxygen is used in the process of respiration and oxygen is given out in the process of photosynthesis. So you can see oxygen from atmosphere is utilized by plants and animals in the process of respiration, and carbon dioxide and water is produced. You can see this carbon dioxide and water is produced. Now this carbon dioxide and water is again utilized in the process of photosynthesis and oxygen and glucose are produced. So in this way oxygen cycle is completed. Now we know that oxygen is an essential component of biological molecules like carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So because of this balance between the number of plants and number of animals in the atmosphere, the amount of carbon dioxide as well as amount of oxygen is maintained in the atmosphere. But nowadays due to increase in the amount of carbon dioxide emission in the atmosphere, we have now disturbed this balance, and because of this nowadays we are facing global warming and we can see floods and many natural calamities at many places. You all must have heard about greenhouse effect in lower standard. Greenhouse is actually in some very cold area, houses made of glass are used for cultivation of plants during winter. Because of extreme cold climate, it is difficult to grow plants over there. So this glass houses, what is the use of it, you know? When once the sun rays enters the house, the heat of sun is trapped inside the house and it keeps the temperature of the house, that glass house, little warmer compared to the outside temperature. This is known as greenhouse. Now greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, as we know, it traps the sun's heat and it keeps the temperature of the earth bearable. In the same way, methane and chlorofluorocarbon also trap the heat radiated by the sun and prevent the escape of heat from the earth. Now the increase in the presence of these gases in the atmosphere cause increase in the temperature of atmosphere. This is called greenhouse effect. Now as you know, 0.04% of carbon dioxide is present in air. Now if this amount increases, automatically the heat trap by this carbon dioxide will increase, and so it will increase the temperature of earth, and this is called greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect can cause melting of polar ice, increase in sea level, flooding of coastal areas and submerging of islands. So it is very important for entire humanity to maintain the temperature of earth, and to reduce, or you can say to prevent the use of this chlorofluorocarbon. We are using this chlorofluorocarbon especially in air conditions and refrigerators, and nowadays environmentalists are uh, behind, like they are they want to they are very much worried about the environment, and they are against the use of chlorofluorocarbon, and now so many alternatives are found, so that the use of chlorofluorocarbon can be reduced or it can be prevented. Students, elemental form of oxygen is O2, but O3 is also elemental form of oxygen, and that is known as ozone. Ozone molecule contain 3 atoms of oxygen. It is present in the very upper layer of atmosphere, and as it is very poisonous, if it reach us, it is very harmful to us. But um, fortunately, the ozone is very reactive and unstable gas, so it does not comes down, but on the upper layer of atmosphere it keeps on converting from O2 to O3 and back to O2. And the ozone layer is very important for mankind, because it protects the earth from harmful ultraviolet radiations from the sun, which is harmful for living organism. Now the ozone layer is being damaged by carbon compounds like chlorofluorocarbons. Now to prevent the damage to the ozone layer, the use of CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, is being reduced. Now we have heard in news and some magazines that at near Antarctica some part of ozone layer is damaged. Now day by day this damage is increasing, and harmful radiation from that part are reaching earth, and as these radiations, ultraviolet radiations, are reaching earth, it is causing many skin disease and skin cancer. So it is very much necessary for us to protect the ozone layer and to prevent the use of chlorofluorocarbon. So students, here we end our chapter. I hope you all have enjoyed this. Please read the textbook again and again and clear your doubts.